What's up, Senior High? It's Sir Dale here, and we're back. I felt bad to the last time na wala ko nakahimo sa inyong video, but now the lessons are so straightforward, no? And I just want to help you a bit on will you answer your module. Okay, so as you could notice, I am using a virtual background now because everything around me is so messy, so please forgive me for that. Okay, so but still, if you want to see my previous background, just view my old videos. You'll see my true background there. Okay, so let's not delay, no. Welcome to the first lesson, no, sa third quarter in statistics. It's for me, it's really not my expertise, but as I have read your module, it's easy to understand, and I hope you can understand it too. But I felt the need to record a video because you might not understand how you will answer it, and also how the teacher wants to see your answers, no, so that our answers will be uniform. Okay, so because I did not make the module, so I will have to make this video so that our answers will be uniform. So I hope you will follow my methods on answering so that the points will get the maximum points in your quiz and assessment. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin our lesson 1. Yeah, so I'm sharing a whiteboard. Okay, so I hope you can see it. Whiteboard na siya. But now I'm moving to a new format, which is let us read your module together. I will not create a PowerPoint presentation anymore, because it's really an easy read for your module, and I hope you will appreciate the maker of your module. Okay, so yeah. So our learning objectives, no, first lesson, we will discuss 2 lessons today. So lesson 1, exploring the random variables. Okay, so we are to illustrate random variables, both discrete and continuous, distinguish between discrete and continuous random variable, find possible values of a random variable, and illustrate a probability distribution. No, let's zoom in. Its properties. Okay, so yeah. So probability refers to the extent in which something is probable to happen, di ba? So it's a chance, no? Chance lang siya nga mahitabo. Okay? Chance siya nga mahitabo, di ba? So muna siya ang probability. Okay? So example of events can be, no? So tossing a coin with the head up, di ba? Pilay chance nga ma-heads ang coin, di ba? Depende kung katong bitaw nakadula mo tong text sa una, katong bitang apir-apir, or katong ana bitaw tong sticker ba, kabantay mo tong sticker bitaw, o unsa ipalupad ninyo na siya, o nakaubot na kadula pa buan na tong sticker, di ba? Ana, then mulupad din siya, then it's either mo hayang or kulob, di ba? So kung hayang imuha or kulob imuha, it's either makadaog ka or pildi. Diba? Kung kulob, usually pildi ka ana. Kung nakahayang ang sticker, pag land sa yuta, imo na rin yung sticker na yun. Unless kung imuhang sticker kay ihimo yung back to back ba, double nimo. Kaya cheating na siya, diba? So drawing a card from 52 deck of cards, diba? So for example, we have here, no, so draw ta, di ba? So kini siya pilay chance nga ma-heads ang coin, di ba? So 50% lang, di ba? Okay, so ko balog erase ani. Nanibago ko. Okay, so 50-50, di ba? 50-50. 50 nga 50% nga ma-heads, 50% nga ma-tails, di ba? Drawing a card from a 52 deck of 52 cards, di ba? So nakay 1 in 52 chance, di ba? Drawing red pen from a pack of different colored pens. Okay? So depende na siya pila ka book pens ang nasa sa cassette. Okay? So event that occurs for sure is called a certain event, diba? So probability niya is 1. Kung impossible event siya, probability is 0. So same ra na siya sa i-crash back ka sa imong crush. Okay, so probability event is 0. Impossible event na siya, guys, depende no kung nakay buhaton. So mahimo na siyang 1. Depende na siya kung sa yung buhaton mahimo siyang 1. Okay? Yeah. So every event will have a set of possible outcomes called sample space. Okay, so dili man good at the it's not all the time that your event will happen, diba? So na siya 50% chance ba mahitabo, tapos siya 60% chance, 70% chance nga may crash back ka sa imong crush karong February 14, diba? Or sugton ba kaniya nga manguyab ka karon February 14, I don't know, di ba? May gani mo karon kay abot lang ako balo. So na klase hapon ang kani gid kay Lunes gid yung February Valentine's. Okay? So example, when the coin is tossed, the possible outcomes are head and tail, di ba? So duha lang, head and tail. So the sample space represented is H and P. So the same manner when two coins are tossed, di ba? It's either HH, diba? So first toss mo sa coin, mugawas heads, second mugawas heads yapon. First is heads, then tails, ba heads, tails, heads, tails, okay? So probability of head each time you toss coin is 1/2, diba? Muna itong 50%. So the same is true with the probability of the tail. Okay, so random variable, what's my random variable? So it's a function that associates a real number to each element, okay, in the sample space. So determined by chance, in other words, a random variable is a set of possible values from a random experiment. Okay, so pila man ang value, pila value. Okay, so for example, tulo ka cellphones tested at random, di ba? We want to find out the number of defective cell phones that occur. Okay, so each outcome in the sample space we shall assign a value. So for example, ito ta sa whiteboard, okay? So adayon ta lang x na siya, x. So random variable, so asa mo ta ato ang cursor. Okay. So yeah. So number of ba? So number of man ang possible outcomes, okay? Butang ta lang ang okay. Ang defective kay D, diba? So ang non-defective kay N. Okay? So sa possible outcomes then we have 3 cell phones man, diba? So butang ta lang, so sa possible outcomes dayon ang random variable x, di ba? So random variable x, punta lang. Sa tulo ka cellphone, it's either naa siya defect or wala, di ba? So butang ta lang sa tulo ka cellphone walay defective. So tulo ka cellphone non-defective. So pila man kabuok ang unsa man ang value sa random variable. So we are to count the number of defective cell phones. So there is a possible outcomes, pila man ang D, diba? 0 ana. So muna siya ang kuan sa random. Okay, so next is ta lang sa last nga cellphone kay naay defect. So natay isa ka defect, muna ang value sa random variable. Next kay ang ikaduha nga cellphone ang daot. So N, D stands for daot. Okay. So next is the first cellphone ang daot. So natay 1. Okay. Next dayon the first 2 cellphones kay daot. So duha atong D, di ba? Dayon ang first ug ang third nga cellphones daot. Okay? So kana. Next dayon ang erase natin. Okay. So ang second ug ang third nga cellphone daot. Okay, so nakay duha ka daot nga cellphone. And then last is tanan daot. So 3. So balik ta sa ato ang kuan. So these are 0, there are 0, 1, 2, 3, di ba? Muna siya ang outcomes sa atong sample space, di ba? It's either 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So tara na to sa table. So sakto atong answer, no? So naay isa ka group na walay daot nga cellphone, di ba? Naay isa, naay duha, then tanan cellphone daot. Okay? Next. So saan ni pag-solve niya problem? Okay? So I want you to solve the problem kining mo man yung quiz 1 ninyo, di ba? So I want you to solve this problem same sa pag-solve nato sa ato ang pareha sa ganina. Okay? So let's go back to the whiteboard. So atong i-reason tanan. Ito taglaing whiteboard. Okay? So buhaton ninyo same. Okay? So let i-cost the 3 coins. 3 coins ang i-toss nato, di ba? So let y be the random variable representing the number of tails that occur. Okay? So find the values of the random variable for your answer. Make a table similar to the example above. So possible outcomes. So I want muna akong gusto makita sa inyong quiz. Possible outcomes. Dayon value of random variable y. Okay, so that's the number of tails, diba? Tails man. Sorry na kasi akong maagi, guys. So ako na dani. This is new. Okay, so naroday ang eraser. So eraser na siya. Okay, so yeah, number of tails. Okay, so possible outcomes. For example, ansira na ako ang isa, ha. So I hope na muna pong makita sa inyo, ha. So first is sa tulo ka coins nga yung gitos is H. So meaning walay tails, diba? So value sa random variable y nato is 0. Okay? So i-continue na siya hangtod sa makita ninyo pila ka number, no, of number of tails. Okay? So continue na siya. For question number 2, same. Okay? So for question number 2, same lagi hapon, possible outcomes, diba? So we have a blue and a red ball, diba? So ang kinilang siya, so tanta lang PO. So i-spell out ninyo, ha, ang possible outcomes, ha. Then value of random variable z, diba? Z, value of random variable z. So that's now number of blue balls. Number of, specify gini ni guys, blue balls. Okay? So itang talang pila kabok ang i-draw. 2 balls lang, 2 balls. So for example, diri is R, di ba? O R. So pila man kabok ang number of blue balls ana imuhang na draw? Diba? 0. So ana siya. That's how you solve the problem, the quiz. Okay? Next. Kung na siya i-reason. Just view the video again. Yeah. Next is distinction between discrete and continuous variable. So you will know this, just read this, di ba? So kung discrete random variable set of possible outcomes which is countable, di ba? Example, if I give you an eraser, di ba? Eraser, tag eraser. So pila man kabok eraser. This is just one. So discrete. Ma-count nimo. It's an integer, no? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maihap jud nimo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, mungkin kag continuous random variable, ang inyong palatandaan ana is kato nang naanay mga point bitaw. For example, height, ba? Ako I am 167.6 centimeters, di ba? So nakoy 9.6. So that's muna siya continuous variable. But for example, weight. So I weigh, example, 80.3 kilograms. Pala muna akong weight, ba? So 9.3. So muna siya isa ninyong palatandaan, okay? Next, dayon temperature, di ba? Kanang magkuhan ka temperature, pila may kasagaran nga value, 36.5, di ba? Degrees Celsius. Muna siya ang pag-answer ninyo sa lesson 1 assessment, okay? So number of defective computers, unsa man na siya? Discrete ba na siya o continuous? Okay? Weight, number of defective computers. Next is weight, number of siblings, amount of paint utilized, number of dropout in school districts, speed of cars, number of female athletes, time, amount of sugar, number of people who are playing Lotto each day. Okay? So number 2, 4 coins are tossed, diba? Same rag hapon what we did earlier, just put a table, diba? Put a table and then list the possible outcomes, okay? Pila man kabok ang possible outcomes, diba? So example ang PO. So what is asked in the problem is give the answers for the possible outcomes and the value of the random variable Z. So same, just also give the a table, construct also a table, okay? Same sa quiz earlier, okay? Next is a shipment of computers that contains two that are slightly defective, okay? So at least two contains two that are slightly defective. A retailer receives 3 of these computers at random. List the elements of the sample space using S, okay? Letters D and N for defective and non-defective computers respectively. To each sample point, assign a value of X, the random variable X representing the number of computers purchased by the retailer which are slightly defective, okay? So what I want you to do here is same hapon, possible outcomes, no? Possible outcomes and then the number of X, di ba? So number of variable X, but I want you to write your samples, for example, we did this earlier, di ba? Katong N and D, katong na daot ug dili daot, di ba? So I want you to list your answers nga nakuha ani in the sample space S. Okay? So lang ana. So first is N and D. N and D. Inyong kuan. N and D. Next is NDN, di ba? So that's example, padayon na din aninyo hangtod pila inyo makita, okay? And then the value, di ba? The value is X, okay? Value is ilist niyo tong mga nakita ninyo mga values diri, di ba? So what are the values? 1, di ba? So 1 kamo na dahil magsumpay unsa inyo nakita nga mga values, okay? Yeah, so I know the number of kuan, so just giving you the examples, okay? So I'm answering a few of your assessment for you. Next, let random variable. So you know this already, so I have explained this. Okay, so just take a table gihapon. Okay, so that's it for lesson 1. No, so that's it for lesson 1, and I hope you understood it. So let's go to lesson 2. No, just take a break siguro. Just take a break. Just if you don't just okay, wala na ko na ba dali ra kaayo ang lesson 1. Okay, so next we are going to lesson 2. If you're back, welcome back. No, just pause this video siguro kung go to the CR. Okay, so yeah, let's go to lesson 2. No, probability distribution. Compute. You're expected to illustrate a probability distribution for a discrete random variable and its properties, and then compute probabilities corresponding to a given random variable. Okay, so probabilities sa tadri guys, no? So yeah, ang nakakuan lang ani is probability distribution, no? Discrete associated to each possible value of x of a discrete random variable x is the probability px that x will take in the value of x in one trial of it. Kapoy kayo siya ugasahan guys, pero what it means is, for example, diba? Direta sa example. Okay, so we have this listed the possible outcomes, diba? So for example, the number of tails, no, number of tails, the value of the number of tumning gibuhat yun nga value. So TTT, so number of tails pila kabok, tulo, diba? Dire TTH, tuha, and then and so on and so forth, diba? HHT 1. Okay, so we are now listing the probabilities, diba? So pila kabuok ang possible outcomes. Okay, so man siya kung kung yun na pila kabok, how many are the possible outcomes. You will count here kini 1, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, diba? So that's the number of outcomes. So now we will now count how many of those outcomes are pila ang number of tails, diba? So how often did it happen? Okay, so for example sa 0, diba? So ikapila man ni gawas ang 0 diri sa ato ang value of the random variable. Kapila man siya ni gawas ang 0 nga value? Only once, diba? So muna siya nga natay 1 diri, 1/8, diba? 1/8. So if i-transform mo siya to decimal, so 0.125. Okay, kaning 1, kapila man siya ni gawas ang 1 sa ato ang random variable? Katulo, diba? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so katulo. And also for number 2, 2 gihapon is 1, 2, 3. So mo na nga 3/8 atong probability. Okay, so nakuha na ninyo ni 8, diba? Muna ang total number of outcomes. Then kapila sa total number of outcomes ni occur ang 0 once. Okay, 1. Kapila ni sa total number of outcomes, kapila ni gawas ang 1? Katulo, diba? Also number 2, kapila ni gawas 3 sa total nga 8. And then kapila ni gawas ang 3? Only once, diba? 1. So muna nga 1. 1/8. If i-add ninyo ni sila, ang total na kay 1. Okay? So dili na siya wala gyud probability ng mo 2 or 1.1. Okay? So probability is only from 0 to 1. Okay? So 0 being the impossible event. Katok yung ganina, di ba? You're crashing you back. Then certain event na mauyab gid ni mo crash. Okay, so next yeah, number quiz 2 na guys. Quiz 2 na, di ba? So same ra gihapon. Follow the steps in the example, di ba? So 2 balls are drawn in succession and containing 5 red balls and 6 blue balls, di ba? let z be the random variable. So same gihapon. Yeah. And then construct the probability distribution of the random variable z. Okay. So, example. Diba? Focusing sa natin. Okay. So, 2 balls are drawn in succession. So, duha lang. Okay? Duha lang. So, possible outcomes nato is only blue o red. Okay? So, counta lang. Isa ka RR, diba? So, ang random variable, z, diba? Z. So, ang random variable z, okay? So, random variable z, pila man siya ang probability, no? Na naitabo siya. Pila man kabok ang number of blue balls ani. It's just 0, diba? And ang PZ, diba? PZ, or the probability that the walay blue ball nga nakuha is pila man? 1 ano? 1 or diba kay 1 naman? 1. And then pila man dayon ang kuan niya, ang total number of outcomes. So kamo na bahala ana. Okay? So kamo i-find out pila ang number of outcomes. Okay? Next. Same. Number of defective cell phones, same gihapon on what we did in the number 1. Okay, follow the step in our example. Okay, yeah, it's really simple, guys. I think you can get it. Okay, next is same gihapon, probability distribution and describe in the following situation. Draw the corresponding. This is really important because the histogram, no, this is important, no, because I haven't taught you how to draw a histogram, and also in this module it's not explained, no. Yeah, 4 coins are tossed. Let z be the random variable representing the number of heads that occur, no. Find the values of the random variable z, then draw the corresponding histogram of your probability distribution. Okay, so for example, no, na-list na niyo tanan possible outcomes. Okay, so possible outcomes, no, possible outcomes tangta lang, diba 4 coins naman, 4 coins man ang toss, diba? Number of heads that occur pag yun. So tangta lang H. So tanan nga nito nga is heads, di ba? So pila man na siya kabuok, di ba? So that's 4, di ba? 4. So 4 siya. And then next is that's the number of heads that occur, di ba? 4 man ka heads. So find the values of the random variable z. So kini nga mga values, di ba? Kini siya 4, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, kung ano magina siya, di ba? So, kung ang isa is tails tanan, so 0, di ba? So, napra siya ilaing mga values diri, guys. Okay, kamo na yung mangita. Next is, draw the corresponding histogram of your probability distribution. So, wala ito ang probability diri, di ba? So kapila man nahitabo ang kuan, kapila man nahitabo ni siya, ba, number of variables. So that's 4, di ba? 4 kaupat siya na so kapila man siya nahitabo ang may 4 diri, di ba? So kapila man nigawas ang 4 diri sa outcomes na sa ato ang random variable. Okay? So kaisa ra gid na siya, di ba? Kaisa ra man gini kay ang uban na HHHT naman. So 1 ra gina, once ra gina siya may tabo. Okay? And then over the total number of outcomes. Okay? So kamo na mangita. Gunsa kapila man sila ka outcomes dani. So it's your job to find out that. Okay? Then next dayon ang probability histogram. Okay, the histogram now looks like this. Okay? So bana kay probability nga 0. Probability muna siya ang number of heads. Number of heads. Muna siya ang random variable z mo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So muna siya ang value sa atong random variable z. Dayon ang kining sa y axis nato is the probability. Okay? So for example sa 4 siya nga sa 4 nga butang tala magbutang tag mga values sa is point 10, so 0.20, 0.30, 0.40. Okay? So butang ta lang nga ang probability of 4 happening, di ba? 4 in a row happening nga heads, di ba? Is just 1, di ba? So ako kabalo pila ang outcome, so I don't know pila. So for example, butang ta lang at 10%. Butang lang at 10%, okay? So ang histogram ana niya is ana. Okay? Butang ta lang then ang dapat kay ang 4 og ang 0 kay kaisa ra man siya mahitabo. So same ra na sila og number sa sa 4, okay? So kuning reason. So same ra sila, butang ta lang 0.10, di ba? Next dayon is butang ta lang kung ang 1 kay 20% of the time, no, diri sa PZ nga inyong na-calculate is 0.20 siya. So ang 1 karon is ingani, di ba? So butang ta lang same sila number sa 3. So ani ana. Okay muna tong histogram, and then ang 20 rin kay 0.3. So mo na din siya ang so muna siya ang histogram, guys, ha. This is how you create a histogram. Okay, so this is ang values niya sa ang height ani niya is based on the values of the probabilities. Okay? So wala siya ang pag-create sa probability histogram. Okay? So you will do that for the next 3 numbers. Okay? So ana lang siya. So do not copy the problems anymore, just show the solution for each problem. Okay, so I think that's it for the lesson 1 and 2, no? Lesson 3 naman sunod. I hope you found this video helpful, no? It can help you in the solving, because I just needed to make this video because I want our answers to be uniform. Okay, so na siya. Please follow the steps that I have given you on how I will answer the questions. Okay, so yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this semester, no? We kick off the second semester with the Valentine's Day nga kuan. So I hope you will answer this, no? So please submit the lessons 1 and 2 ang outputs in February 14, and for ABM and UMS, and then for February 15 sa ICT o automotive. Okay, so this ends our video. I hope you will get this, because for in the next week we will discuss lessons 3 and 4. Okay, so that's it. Bye bye.